Alex, this ship is called the Silverhawk.
Oh, okay. Like the like the cartoon Silverhawks.
Nothing like the cartoon. God.
That is the funniest reaction anyone could have when I mention the cartoon Silverhawk.
Welcome to retropals Side 2, where we're going to showcase the NEC pcengine SuperGrafx.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's time. We got to play this thing. There's been so many opportunities to play this on stream that we've barely missed out on. I think it's been in polls before, but here it is. We're finally going to showcase the NEC SuperGrafx. It looks like this.
There it is.
Look at that thing. This is an enhanced PC engine, aka TurboGrafx 16. This one was not released in North America. This was released in Japan, again, focusing on the high-end market, people who really wanted to supercharge their video game experience. Compared to the Supercharger, this isn't as much of an improvement. It only has 4 times the RAM of a regular PC engine, and it does some different stuff with layers and scrolling and stuff. But what it does is essentially offer much the same as the Supercharger. It's just like, hey, PC engine games, better graphics, more scrolling, more sprites. Get turbocharged gaming today with this. Only instead of being an accessory, this was a brand new console. A console that cost several $100s.
Oh.
And was more than the standard PC engine itself. It did support the CD-ROM peripheral, so you could plug that thing in the back.
Okay.
But it's just the design of this thing that gets me. It looks like a freaking tank. Looks like some kind of disused military equipment, like you'd need giant wrenches to wrench off those screws on the top.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very cartoonishly comical, in my opinion. And believe it or not, they wanted to make it even more cartoonishly comical because they were very serious, NEC, about targeting the high-end market, the people with subwoofers, the people with surround sound systems and giant TVs. They were like, these people are going to pay and pay and pay and pay for our system. No one bought it, unfortunately. They did release this thing on the market, and it did have a good 2 years somehow on the retail market. 6 games were released over the space of 2 years, at which point NEC was like, you guys want to buy this? Are you sure? You could get really high-end gaming with this. We're planning all kinds of weird peripherals like this one.
Yeah.
So that's, look at this. If you look very closely at the back of that device, what do you see there? There's a freaking SuperGrafx plugged into it. The SuperGrafx itself, already this huge monolith of a thing, plugs into this much, much larger control base called the power console, I think it was.
Okay.
Alex, click on this image and slowly scroll down if you would. Because there's a little bit more to this preview that you're not seeing just yet.
There we go.
Look at what this thing looks like.
Da 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 da. It looks like a Tommy Toys thing from the 90s.
way in the back in the upper left corner, you see the joystick, the small arcade-style ball-top joystick that's meant to play all regular PC Engine and SuperGrafx games. You might not notice that because there's a whole fucking flight yoke implemented into the thing with its own 2 buttons. Not only that, you got an LCD readout, a radar, God forbid, a fucking radar up there in addition to the LCD readout. You have, of course, 5 controller ports for the games that support up to 5 controllers. You have an entire telephone keypad on the right.
Why not?
You have up to 4 buttons. No PC Engine games use 4 buttons, but there's 4 buttons on this thing, along with God knows what else was supposed to be in this thing. This was going to retail for 59,000 yen, or a good $600 or so.
I see RPG and R-Type 1!
And as you see demonstrated in the lower right, yeah, this thing was indeed built atop the SuperGrafx. You would just plug it into the back, and it would become this incredible monument to gaming. Why don't we display the full image so you can get a better idea of what this thing would have looked like.
Wow.
Unfortunately, this thing never came to market, but man, it would have been a hell of a thing if it did. They had huge plans for SuperGrafx. They were like, we know this high-end market is out there. If we can just compel them to buy a system and this ridiculous setup, we'll be rolling in the money, we will. Unfortunately, people tended to side much more with the PC Engine CD-ROM and the later Super CD-ROM, rendering this kind of redundant. but for a time, this was the most powerful PC engine on the market, and unfortunately this controller never got made.
Oh, really?
I would have loved... This is like the predecessor to the Steel Battalion controller.
Yeah, I would have loved this. I would have loved to see how they did the radar and stuff like that.
Yeah, the little readouts and everything. Just completely insane. So, unfortunately, this thing never met its full potential, but why not play through its entire library just to see what it's like being a SuperGrafx owner? Let's do it. We start all the way back when the thing was released, November 30th, 1989, so not even in the 90s. The first game released for the SuperGrafx was Battle Ace.
I saw the Hudson Soft logo.
I wish people made new controllers like that.
You really stupid ones?
Yeah. Can you turn it up a little bit for us?
Oh, yeah.
So look at this, you get fake scrolling effects, you get different layers of scrolling. Already you can see this is a pretty hardware-intense video game. This thing also has the basic sound hardware as the PC Engine, so no changes there. These just sound like PC Engine games.
That's fair. PC Engine sounded good, so...
Yeah. Alright, no spoilers, let's play this.
Okay.
This, I assume, is what the flight yoke was meant for. So imagine sitting at your command center with your SuperGrafx power console flight yoke and just experiencing the best of gaming in 1989.
Okay.
What a difference a few years makes. We went from 83 to 89. Graphics come a long way.
I was gonna say, this does look way sicker than the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
But that's not hard to do.
I kind of like the 2600 now. Games like Dragon Stomper, that shit was awesome.
Okay, Dragon Stomper was cool as hell, even though I object to stomping on dragons. Be nice. Pardon me. Be nice to them.
Yeah, they should release a ROM hack called Be Nice to Dragons.
Thank you! By Kobold Productions. I did not say Kobold Productions normally. Okay.
I didn't mention it, but on the Power Console, there was also a throttle for this video game, so you could control your speed directly from the panel.
And I bet the radar would have been useful for this game, too. This seems like a game meant for that weird
Yeah.
free controller.
Though, in hindsight, it's clearly NEC just trying to milk the high-end market, the richies,
Yeah.
the richie riches of the world. The people who bought a shit ton of PC Engine games and the CD-ROM peripheral and all the different accessories.
Danny, I want to be rich enough to be milked.
I do too. Milk me. I don't know why I said that in Alf's voice. Willie, milk me.
Yeah, that's fair. We deserve bannings.
As a game, this is okay. It's kind of like Afterburner, but less exciting. Or kind of like Top Gun on NES, except good. I don't think there's any sequences where you have to land the plane, so thank God for that. I'm being banned in midair? Can't you wait for me to land first?
No, sorry, honey.
I'm waiting to hear word of our victory over enemy forces, and instead I'm just being banned by our own people. I expected a hero's welcome.
Don't worry, I'm being banned too, so it's okay. It's only
Okay,
fair.
good. Look, we just want to be milked. It's the natural human condition.
Listen, Danny can shout milk me in Alf's voice as much as they want.
Milk me!
Danny! I take back what I said, no.
Willie, I have needs! I'm sorry, this is not behavior befitting of a SuperGrafx owner. People have higher expectations of us. Whoa, you dodge lightning in this? This part's pretty cool. I'm setting up a new record for bands. Oh shit! I was struck by lightning! Mayday! Mayday! We're going down! Tell my wife she can't have my SuperGrafx. Battle Ace for SuperGrafx. At the time, this would have been a very pricey investment, the SuperGrafx being several $100s, and this game itself. I think the SuperGrafx games came out at like a price tag of essentially $80 or $90. So you'd be paying for the extra horsepower. I guess we'll see what's after this. And then move on to our next game. Hey. Ooh, boss?
Oh, okay, cool.
We got bosses.
So, does this feel enhanced to you? Does this feel like an enhanced game?
I guess slightly, but you don't really get the same level of improvement comparatively that you got with the Star Pass Supercharger. This feels very much like just, I guess, a competently executed PC Engine game.
Okay.
Which makes sense, because these are by Hudson, the same people making the regular PC Engine games. We did it.
You do.
Ooh, tell us.
This is fancy.
Protus. Look at these graphics. You could not see such detailed spheres on other systems.
Except for the Amiga, of course.
Oh, right, yeah. Man, all this horsepower and it still doesn't compare to the Amiga.
That's so sad.
Battle Ace for the SuperGrafx. If you had a SuperGrafx, you probably played this, and you probably didn't like it all that much. It's okay, though.
It's alright.
That was November 30th, 1989. Flashing forward, almost 6 months later was the next release. That's always a good sign. April 6th, 1990. It's time to play Mado King Granzort.
That's a fake name.
That's totally a real name.
No way. Granzort's fake. I bet this is the RPG for the system. This looks like an RPG.
We'll see about that.
It's
Also,
either an RPG or a shoot game.
the game that was released after this was the system seller, the big one everyone wanted to see, so we'll go ahead and save that one for last.
Okay.
It was the big one everyone bought a SuperGrafx for back in the day, though. This is an anime license game.
Oh, okay. Is this a platformer?
Well,
Is this freaking Keith Courage?
it's from the same anime company as Keith Courage. It had the same license, so same basis as far as that's concerned, but
Okay.
I don't know if this had the same developer. It does share some kind of superficial vibes with it. This is part of a short-lived genre I like to call Finest Hour likes. Namco released an arcade game called Finest Hour in the late 80s, which was essentially a mech game where you had this like vernier system where you could fly around, but you had limited flight capabilities. A whole bunch of games took inspiration from that over a very short period of time, and they disappeared almost as soon as they started. But if you ever see a mech game with like a vernier meter, it's taking cues from Finest Hour.
Okay.
Now that I look at it, though, that's not a vernier meter, that's an MP meter. Do you even fly in this? I don't know much about this one. I do know Aquas here on Twitch plays this a lot. He might be the speedrun world record holder still. But what you should be looking at here are just the layers of scrolling in the background.
That is impressive, I will say.
That's what we wanted back then. We wanted multiple scrolls. Poor
Yeah,
elephant.
giant robots, aka mochas.
Yeah, mochas. It's one of those mocha animes. So everything I said about this being a Finest Hour like is wrong. There are a bunch of games on PC Engine like that, mostly on the CD-ROM. One that came out over here was called Vague's Tactical Gladiator. I keep track of these mecha trends, though, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep up with what the hell is this?
I love them! Holy moly!
He took me out, but quick. Big blomby rock guy. How do you win in this?
Yeah, actually. I assume you just beat enough dudes.
You have like different abilities you can use. Oh! Yes, in fact. Alright. Okay. Yeah, alright. This mecha is multimodal.
Thank you, Bortward, for the 100 bits. Is this Alpha Zones? That's what I was saying.
A lot of people seeing Keith Courage in this, and I don't blame you. I can see it too. Thank you.
It's because of the mecha shape. It's very blondie.
Oh yeah. Did it. Whoa, he came apart cool. I think maybe I'm a Granzord fan. This plays pretty nicely.
Is it better than Keith Courage?
Oh yeah. This kicks Keith Courage's ass.
Nice, nice.
Oh, one of them can fly. That is a vernier meter, pretty much. It's just called MP.
Okay, well...
I was right all along. I'm vindicated. You know what my favorite finest hour like is? Armored Core.
Ah!
I'm gonna make a YouTube video about this. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. That's a free video idea, though.
Yeah, someone do that.
If you want to make a video no one will watch, make it about vernier systems in early mech games.
I don't know. It seems like that could be something that would like, if you're the right kind of person and you do a really good job of it.
Cool
you would
skull.
Oh my god, the skull is cool.
Whoa! I found the hidden 1-up cache. There's like 12 1-ups up there. Hang on. I gotta be my other dude. No, I need those.
That's
No.
I think that's a trap.
No. I'm no longer Mado King Granzort. There will have to be a successor.
Sorry, honey.
Well, that's what a platformer looks like on the SuperGrafx.
Okay. Not bad.
Next up was the big landmark game that, again, we're gonna save to the very end, but skipping over that, we have a game that optionally supports the SuperGrafx. This is a game that plays on the PC Engine, but if you play it on SuperGrafx, it has a better frame rate, it doesn't slow down as much, and like the layers are better or something. Darius Plus. Darius Super Plus.
Darius Plus, hold on.
That's the bomb, that's the shield, that's the laser, that's the missile. Alex, this ship is called the Silverhawk.
Oh, okay. Like the like the cartoon Silverhawks.
Nothing like the cartoon. God.
That is the funniest reaction anyone could have when I mention the cartoon Silverhawks. Which, by the way, I want to say that's on Peacock. I don't know why I'm on Peacock a lot because it's the cheapest thing to subscribe to, and also on the ad level, and also the ad level is really funny. If you pause, they'll have like ads on your pause screen saying like, "You're paused.
That
Well, you're
sucks.
paused. Why don't you purchase some toilet paper,
I
idiots?"
hate being advertised to constantly. I
fucking
resent
hate
the
it
fuck
too.
out of it. Advertisers, we fucking hate you. Go die in a hole. Anyway, buy an ad package with retropals today. So, Darius, 86 arcade game. Notable for having 3 massive screens, much like the Ninja Warriors. This was an ultra-wide Taito game that had 3 CRTs placed side by side. Here on PC Engine, you just got the one, so they had to scrunch the gameplay down a little bit. Still, not a game that was often ported back then. You saw more ports of Darius 2 when that eventually came out. But here on PC Engine, being an enthusiast, you might expect to see a port of Darius, and hey, here it is.
Okay, Danny, do you want to know something funny that I noticed about advertising in the buses?
What?
Okay, so I usually take buses on the east side of Austin, which, you know, is not as rich as the west side of Austin. And those buses regular buses, just, you'll see some ads inside of it, whatever. All of the big name fancy bus wrap ads, I've noticed that they only go on the buses in the fancier neighborhoods, like the 803 bus and whatever.
So only the rich people get advertised to?
No, I swear to God, I saw an ad for something called Hello Molly, and it was just, the bus was like pink and shit, and this huge thing on the side, and I was like...
is that cocaine? They get ads for cocaine up there?
No, it's one of those...
I don't think that needs advertising.
It's one of those things where I noticed downtown, I'm like, wow, I wonder why I only see these ads, and it's because I'm never in the areas that are fancy and rich. It's only the rich people areas that get bus wraps that are like, buy our products. I think I mentioned it, but one time I saw an anti-Elon Musk bus wrap, and I was just like, that's cool.
That rules.
It was about the monkey stuff, and it was like Elon Musk released the monkey reports or something.
Damn, so only the rich people get to see those ads. Poor people keep winning.
No, well, if you go downtown, you'll see all the buses at the big bus stop areas. But for the most part, yeah, I actually didn't realize until I saw literally every bus I was going into on the west side of Austin having a bus wrap, and I'm like, oh, I see. They're trying to. The advertisers are paying to advertise to fancier people.
Eventually they're going to start releasing retro games and have, like, new ads baked into them.
Yes, so, like, instead of Snickers, it's, like, Mr. Beastie's Nuts.
Yeah, exactly. They'll re-release Biker Mice from Mars on Super Nintendo with Mr. Beast branding.
There's one of those famous Darius fishes.
But I'm talking, like, here when you beat a boss, it says, be on your guard, rush to the next area with the power of Snickers. Or why not take a Gatorade break while you're fighting these giant fish? It's toxic to them. Fish can't swim in Gatorade.
That's true, actually. I've been watching a lot of, I've been going into the fish side of YouTube. And
YouTube has a fish side?
Yeah, it has a lot of fish sides. It has the people who are, like, faking fishing fish side, where people are like, I fished in a toilet. Look, I got a bluegill. It's totally real. But please ignore all the cuts that have happened and the very obvious edits. And then there are people who are like, did you know this guy is faking catching fish? And then there are people who are like, let's look at a bunch of fish on Reddit and judge them. So there's a lot of fish content out there. Very judgmental.
Well, we've rushed into B-Zone with the power of Gatorade. Mark my words, they're going to find a new way to sell our retro games back to us, and they're going to have extra advertising in them.
They should advertise Young Sheldon. Like, you're just playing Mario, and they're like, hey, Young Sheldon.
Hey, Young Sheldon.
Yeah, that's what Mario says. It's like, the GBA version of Mario 2, except that instead of Toad saying, just what I needed, he's saying, time for Young Sheldon.
The little LCD readout on the SuperGrafx Power Console just says Sheldon. At 7 p.m. Central on CBS.
Yeah, Codeman, that's what I was thinking of. That's why I mentioned Young Sheldon. Because, Danny, did you know that in reruns of TV, they already changed things in the background?
That's why I'm saying they're going to eventually do that with video games.
Yeah.
These advertisers, they're fucking monsters.
Yeah, I forget what show it was, but they literally changed the DVDs on the back of their shelves to, like, movies they were promoting. And I was like, that's crazy.
And they speed up these shows to make it speed through the content so they can fit in more ads.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the future these evil fish and Darius want to push on us. They're advertisers from outer space. Well, also, they're communists.
Are they mutants as well?
Oh, yeah. You better believe it. Anyway, this is an okay port of Darius. You can also buy this for PC Engine CD-ROM, or you can get the original arcade version nowadays on Switch, part of the Arcade Archive series. Or, back then, you could buy this game on your SuperGrafx, enjoy a wonderful port of this game, enter a sweepstakes, and if you're lucky enough to win, you get an exclusive copy of the game called Darius Alpha, which is also SuperGrafx enhanced. Again, this runs on PC Engine hardware, but it runs a little bit better on SuperGrafx, so let's play this. And what's this? It's no normal Darius. You see what they're trying to do here?
Oh!
It's one of them boss rush type deals. You like Darius, but you don't enjoy the shooting parts? You just want to get to the fish? Get to the good stuff? This is the game for you.
Danny, do you like fish?
I love fish. I love to eat fish.
Me too. That's why I could never have an aquarium. I would get too hungry.
I used to have an aquarium with tropical fish. I never got hungry for them, though.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What kind of tropical fish did you have?
I had freaking tiger barbs, which are asshole fish. They will bite and take chunks out of your other tropical fish.
Okay, fair.
I had something that looked like this, actually. It's called a plecostomus. It sticks to the side and cleans off algae and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a self-cleaning agent for the aquarium.
Oh, pleco. Okay, cool.
I also had some other fucking fish I got from the fish store. Tropical fish were hard to raise, though. They were temperamental and didn't live very long.
Yeah.
So after a while, I stuck with goldfish. Goldfish are much hardier creatures.
Goldfish are so hardy. I feel bad for them. You can keep them in shit conditions, and they're just like, yeah, I'm still rolling with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about a goldfish, but like...
You can do goldfish.
The thing is, like... I'd want to get a nice tank for it, and I'm sorry, but I hate how heavy water is.
Yeah. Cleaning that shit's the worst.
And the worst thing I've seen is I've seen a lot of people whose tanks just straight up, because the water is so heavy and maybe there was a defect in their tanks just explode.
Yeah, that too.
No, thank you. You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to just look at fish.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to there's like free aquarium.
They have
fish
buildings for fish. They have buildings for fish.
Yeah, they have whole motels for them and whatever. Aquariums.
Hotel for fish.
Yeah, I can do that instead. Just be like, hey, I've adopted you now. And the fish is like, I don't know what this means.
Who are you? I like this. It powers you up a little bit between bosses, so you're not, like, going in completely underpowered. Let's fight one more.
Okay.
Not many copies of this exist, being a sweepstakes prize. If you were lucky enough to win, pretty jealous. Not just because you're a winner, but you played Darius on PC Engine back in the day. That was the way to do it. Yeah, this fish, tiger barbs.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, these guys, they hate other fish. They resent them. It's like a constant battle.
Also, I don't want to get fish because I have 2 cats, and I just... The thing is, like... I think Buttons would go after them. I'm sorry.
Buttons would definitely go after them.
Buttons loves fish more than anything, and he would... I'm sorry.
The fish, though, they're their own worst enemy that you gotta worry about.
That's fair.
I will tell you, if you ever have the experience of your fish having babies, make sure you have a baby separator.
Do the babies kill each other?
No, it's just fish are fish, and they don't think much about anything, so they see something moving in front of them, and they're just like, thoop, suck it right up and eat it.
Cool. I kind of
that was horrifying as a kid, seeing nature unfold like in front of that. The fish give birth to a little fish and then just suck it right up. I'm like, oh no, the world is terrible. How could this happen? I should have been playing Darius instead.
You should have.
Hey, this is fun with rapid fire. I've always found Darius impossible. This is the game that teaches you to hate fish. This isn't a fish, this is a crustacean.
I love crawdads. I would eat that guy in a heartbeat. Sorry. I love crustaceans. I love shrimp. I love crawdads. I love lobsters. I could never keep shrimp. I really couldn't.
I lost my shield. This doesn't look good.
This guy would be shooting lasers at me, and I would just be like, "Where's the Tonys? I need to spread it all over you and put you in a boil."
Where's the Tonys? Darius.
Darius.
Darius Plus, Darius Alpha. No matter how you play it here on PC Engine, you're gonna have a good time if you play it with the SuperGrafx. Raise goldfish. Tropical fish are a pain in the ass. This has been an educational stream tonight.
I was gonna say, if you like crawfish, chat, go to Houston. They'll be everywhere.
February 22nd, 1991. This is already extended into 1991. This thing started in 1989. Like I said, they just kept hoping that the whales would come and eat this system up. February 22nd, 1991. Aldines.
Aldines.
The mission, Code for Rage Crisis. What? That's what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it said.
AD 2020.
Earth.
Earth. We were there.
Yeah, I've been there.
I was there in 2020. It sucked. Earth is a good place for a video game. It can be.
That's a pretty good place to be. I like being on Earth sometimes. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this was 2020, alright.
Yeah, it was in a good year.
Jeez, we get the point. Whoa, the Earth is part watermelon now.
Cool!
Get try!
Get try, honey, do it!
Okay.
Come on,
I like this. I like this mecha watermelon Earth we live on.
I think this is the first deck enhancer that added, text with added speech, which is what I was looking for. I assumed speech was gonna happen. This looks good.
Yeah, this is, well, back then R-Type was a popular game. You can charge this up, but it doesn't do anything. Interesting. Maybe you need a sub-weapon for that. You can already see the SuperGrafx layering ability taking flight here. Look at all those layers. Count them. I bet you can't. There's too many.
I can't.
pcengine was known for its shmups. You gotta have a shmup for this. Oh. Any shmuppers out there have a high opinion of this one?
Shmup freaks.
Is this a hidden gem of shmup? You know, I know they want me to charge, but I'm just gonna go ahead and enable auto fire.
Nice.
Life is too short to not enable auto fire. There we go. Now this is a video game. You get a little bit ship. Bit is what I said.
I was going to say I did not hear bit, but I didn't want to say anything.
I had to clarify because it did sound like I said bitch ship. That's not what I called them. Just to be
Call
clear.
them normal things.
That's what it's called in R-Type, right? The bit. What game am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Bits Laboratory.
Oh yeah, I'm always thinking of Bits Laboratory.
I agree that shmup fans should call themselves schmucks. I also think that shmup fans should get really into Mad Magazine.
Ooh, here we go. Sorry, you made me think of a tweet.
Yes.
There's a tweet of like a caption for a dog show or something showing a dog with a really shiny coat, and the caption said, "Really nice coat for a bitch." Like, damn! What'd she do to earn that? Nice coat for a bitch.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, that's our regular corner, things that Danny sees on Twitter that makes them laugh. That's not gonna last much longer.
No, that place I left. I was just like, okay, no thank you. And every time I go to make a tweet, like for retropals, because that's literally the only reason I go on Twitter anymore, it's always just like, it'll be like, oh, you know what you want to see? Do you want to see 5 tweets by Elon Musk? And
do I?
And it's just like, that is actually straight up, that is the thing that made me leave, was being forced to see their tweets so much. It got to a point where I just said to myself, no!
No, I don't want to see this.
I don't have to.
So it looks like you can push the other button to send your little helper ship, tell them to do stuff for you. I like that. I like not having to think. Is this thing escaping from Darius? What is it?
Surface King, we are coming to Blue Sky. I just need to set up the account. That's my bad. Trust me. We are on co-host though. If you want updates there, but we will be going to Blue Sky soon because I'm with you. I want to be somewhere else.
Let's go back to LiveJournal.
Hey, that's why I'm on co-host. It's a lot like LiveJournal, except I can't make like group posts.
This thing's huge.
I love this. It keeps getting bigger.
Damn. All right, is it gonna shoot to the left or shoot to the right? I made my choice. Jesus Christ, it stood up. It's massive.
I like this big friend.
This looks like a pretty beefy game. This would be pushing the limits for a so-called hue card game. The PC Engine's format of credit card-shaped cartridges.
I have to say it. I have not said it before, but I have to say it now, Danny.
What?
Have I told you how much I think hue cards look delicious?
They do. I bet they're really crunchy.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I could say that. Yeah, they look delicious to me.
All right, add that to the list of things I can't have, along with mahjong tiles.
Listen, it's not my fault that things, hue cards look delicious.
They do. It's true.
It is true.
Look them up. Your mouth will be watering.
They just look like I could make a... You could make like a sandwich out of it. I have not tried to eat a Switch cart, but I did lick my finger after I touched a Switch cart, and it was really, really unappetizing.
And with that, we're at the end of the SuperGrafx release library in terms of retail releases. Even fewer games than the StarPath Supercharger. The final one was on August 22nd, 1991. 1941 Counterattack. Turns out this thing could deliver pretty good ports of CPS-1 arcade games by Capcom. And the game we skipped earlier is one of those. We'll see that right up next. But first, let's see this.
Mixed opinions in chat about whether or not the hue cards are edible looking.
All right, who's going to be the first to try?
Not me. My guts are like, no thank you.
I can't eat silicone. Now, 1941 was the sequel to 1942 and 1943. So the series went 42, 43, 41. And then XX, 19XX was the next one. And then after that came 1944, so figure that out. Anyway, this is the third...
None of my business.
This is the third game in the series. And this was a pretty impressive looking shmup at the time. It was vertically oriented in arcades, so they had to vertical this. And there's just so many damn sprites in this that consoles at the time were not able to replicate it. It was something that could only be done on the SuperGrafx.
I will say this is impressive. This does feel very arcade action-y.
Yeah, this looks great. This is a darn good looking port. It's also a very fast-paced game, so if you're used to 42 and 43, you'll get fucking owned at this. Ask the military leaders at the time. 1941 was much more fast-paced than 1942 and 1943.
I'm sorry, it's not World War II, but I'm just thinking of a Red Baron bullet hell game.
Ooh, yeah, with Snoopy?
Yeah. Thank you, Cinco Play, 100-bit donation. I just bit my legendary axe, tasted like legendary ass. Don't listen to my bad ideas and do them. Just because I say something's edible, it's just
Thank you for doing that with a common game and not a rare one. I'm glad you didn't do that with, like, Koryun or some shit. I bit my copy of Ane-san, split the disc right in half. Looks like I'm out $1,000.
Hey, Danny, if you ate a copy of Ane-san, I would get mad.
Well, it's my copy. I can do whatever I want with it. Maybe I got the entire treasure collection here. I just want to take a munch on. Maybe I don't want to sell Rakugaki Showtime. Maybe I want to eat it.
Danny, the only issue I have with this is your intestines.
That's the only issue.
That's the main... I mean, the loss of money is not good, but also not good is what would happen to your guts.
This is terrible for preservation, for games, for games and my own preservation.
Yeah, see, I'm not just a game preservation believer. I believe in preserving Danny's guts.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a very tough game. This game just bombards you right from the off. You often have limited maneuverability too. Shit just constantly flying at you. And the SuperGrafx does a good job of replicating that. This is very much as intense as the arcade version. Maybe there's more slowdown or less detail, but most of it's here.
I'm just saying, instead of ingesting microplastics, I'm ingesting macroplastics.
Ooh, good idea. That's going ahead of the curve.
Thank you. I'm beating them to the punch.
I'm no longer microdosing with plastic. I like this game. It moves you around like in these really big turns that you don't expect. Game's really dynamic in a way that 42 and 43 weren't. I really like 19XX though. I really wish that got a home port. That is the CPS2 follow-up to this. Is this all we need to see?
I was gonna say, this is
Have we
pretty good.
have we done the 40 series justice? Have all the 40s heads out there, do they approve of what we've done?
I think so. I'm approving.
They call them the greatest generation.
If you're a member of the greatest generation and you're watching this, tell us how much of a gamer you are.
Yeah. What's your favorite game? I'm gonna destroy this fucking ship. Oh no, they destroyed me! A horrible twist of fate.
Sorry, honey. World War II is now ruined.
War really is hell. Got him. Oh, but you weren't buying this thing for 1941. Back in 1889. Back in 1989, you couldn't even foreseen that this would have been a release for the thing. You would have seen this advertised as having the greatest port of one of the greatest games ever made. The reason the system even existed was to take a little bit of shine off of the Sega Mega Drive for having a really good port of one specific game from the arcade. NEC was like, we're going to make a port that's so much better you need a whole new console to play it. That game, of course, it's Ghouls and Ghosts. What, you didn't think I was going to end the stream with Ghouls and Ghosts?
I was gonna say, everybody strap in.
You didn't think
It's
any
Ghouls
stream
and
I do...
Ghost time.
You wouldn't think any stream I do isn't just a thinly veiled excuse to play Ghouls and Ghosts again?
Yep. Don't ban Danny. They deserve it.
So, Sega Genesis port, Ghouls and Ghosts, really, really good. Excellent game. Like, down to the tiniest details in the code even. Down to glitches that work in the arcade that are unintuitive and yet they somehow survive the port intact. NEC was like, we could do even better. The Sega Genesis port was notoriously downgraded in terms of graphics. It lacked a bunch of background detail that was in the arcade games, so even if it played the same, it didn't necessarily look the part. People just thought you could do better, and NEC thought you would buy a whole system to play the ultimate version of Ghouls and Ghosts, aka Daima Chimera. If you hold 1 and 2 at the start, you get a hidden options menu.
Ooh.
This lets you have access to all the dip switch settings. It gives you 8 different levels of difficulty, just like the arcade game.
That's cool.
Easy 2, easy 1, very easy. Difficult 1, difficult 2, difficult 3. I don't know what the differences are, so we'll just go with very difficult.
What? No! Danny!
And when this turns out to be a 1cc instead of a deathless clear, I'm going to be like, oh, it's because it was on very difficult. I didn't know the patterns.
Alright, everyone cheer Danny on.
This scene here, not in the Mega Drive version. It's only thanks to extra ROM space you could see this.
Alright, Danny's back on their bullshit. Everybody cheer them on.
I'm back in my zone. We're playing Ghouls and Ghosts again for the 12th time on this stream. But they made a shit ton of ports of this, right? Even systems like the Sega Master System, which had no hope of ever replicating this game, had to have a port of it because, I mean, it's Ghouls and Ghosts, you gotta. This game was a legit sensation for a time, especially in Japan. it single-handedly resulted in the creation of the SuperGrafx. It's hard to believe such a time would exist, but here we are. Actually, I guess it's not that hard to believe because the other day on Twitter, I noticed in the trending topics there was 1 terabyte. Do you know what that's in reference to?
No.
It's in reference to the newly announced PlayStation 5 Slim, which instead of having a mere 850 megabytes of hard drive space, it has a terabyte now.
Oh, okay.
So a whole extra 150 megabytes. Can you believe it?
That's...
And also, the system isn't any slimmer than the real one.
I noticed that! It didn't look very good to me.
So some things never change. Even back then, Atari 2600 gamers wanted to have kilobytes of RAM instead of mere bytes. And nowadays, we're celebrating an extra 150 megabytes in a PS5 Slim that's not slim. It's all cyclical, baby. Everything comes around. We're gonna start using pagers again soon, just you wait.
Okay, but that would be sick. I never got a pager, and I want a pager now because I want to feel like a drug dealer.
Yeah, me too. Arthur looks really weird when he celebrates at the end.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Smartwatches are basically pagers. Well, I need a smartwatch, but not a smartwatch that people want to steal. How do I have a is there like a Temu, or Temu, or however you pronounce it? Do they have smartwatches that people will see and they'll be like, I'm not stealing that shit, that's ugly.
Alex, the practical smartwatch owner.
Listen, I can see the purpose of it. I would, but I also don't want, Yeah, Temu probably has 1,000 different awful little, watches, Android watches. I want an Android watch. It's I want one filled with mercury and stuff. Nice.
And you might be wondering, is this as good of a port, oh my god, as the Sega Mega Drive version, or is it even better?
Sorry about that.
It's, gameplay-wise, it's pretty much perfect for the arcade. I mean, the Mega Drive version was also nearly perfect, but this one is even more so. In some ways, it's more detailed, missing stuff that was not in the Genesis version. I gotta find a better weapon.
Okay, straight up, that's why I want a smartwatch, is because I don't do video calls ever, but I want to do a video call on a smartwatch like Dick Tracy, because that literally happened! You could do that! They made that!
Fuck!
Oh, you died. It's because it's on very difficult, honey.
Oops. Man, that's a weird glitch. The game just reset.
Danny.
What? Go on, talk about
watches
fish
and
or
them
microplastics
or
or whatever.
I'll eat watches.
How many copies of Dai Makamura have you eaten in your lifetime?
None! None! I've actually never eaten a video game. As edible as Switch games look, and I'm very glad they have that bitter deterrent because I know I would swallow one.
Can we have an update on that guy who wanted to eat Ocarina of Time?
Oh yeah! Chat, do you know what happened to him?
That was many years ago.
Did he die?
I don't know. It was a guy on NeoGAF, remember NeoGAF, who wanted to eat his favorite video game so it would be part of him forever. And that video game was Ocarina of Time. And people were like, do you have to eat an entire N64 cartridge with the 3DS version? That's much smaller. That would be easier, right? And he's like, no, it's not the original.
Yeah, Nintendo Quest 2, but they eat all the games.
Just the idea of having to choose between eating a 3DS cartridge or an N64 cartridge is like some saw shit. And yet this guy actually wanted to do it. You know how much I love Dai Makamura. How many copies have I consumed? That's a big fat 0. So far.
I heard about the guy eating the airplane. I guess that's much worse than eating a Nintendo 64 cartridge, but...
Guy ate an airplane?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
I think so. It could be wrong. I could be, but I've heard about that before. Heard about a lot of things, though. That was sick, Danny.
Thank you. This port's not perfect. It has a lot of slowdown later on and some flickering issues, but it's trying its absolute hardest because this needed to be the system seller for the SuperGrafx. Like that big background thing, windmill, that's just completely missing from the Genesis version. Often entire layers went missing. You fucker! I don't want this.
Okay, so he ate the airplane by grinding it down and sprinkling it in his meals.
Okay.
You could do that with an N64 cartridge. Danny?
You could do this very slowly. Over a period of years, you could poison yourself.
Get the food processor. I'm eating Lunar, finally. I'm like, this game is my favorite game of my childhood, and it's now a part of me forever. You gotta
eat
poisoning.
Do you have to eat the CD? Could we feed you a copy of Dragon Song for DS?
Excuse me?
Wouldn't that be the same thing?
No? How do you ingest digital-only games? I can't say, but let's just say...
That's the plot of the newest Wreck-It Ralph.
You gotta take a USB stick rectally.
Oh my god, Alex, come on.
That's what Wreck-It Ralph does! Danny, did you know they're adding Jack Skellington to Fortnite?
They are?
Yeah.
I didn't know he liked guns.
I didn't either. He doesn't seem like a gun guy, but soon he's gonna get a sniper rifle and shit, so...
This game replicates a bug from the arcade in that you can't get a nice catch in level 2. The Mega Drive version is technically inaccurate because you can get a nice catch.
Well, fuck the Mega Drive.
Yeah, exactly. That's not arcade perfect. Plus, some of the fireballs have bad hitboxes, so that just invalidates the port entirely. I've never played Ghouls and Ghosts. I just read what's on the internet. I don't know who I'm making fun of here.
I don't know either.
If I found the right target, good. Anyway, in this level, we're hoping for a dagger drop.
Okay, drop that dagger. Hey, it's that thing you love, and you picked it up!
This game has only ever spawned this one weapon.
Yeah, your favorite weapon, the bad one. That's why it's very difficult. I assume. I actually don't know anything about these games except what I've seen from Danny. It's true, you'd think that
it has more than 2 weapons.
I know it has more than 2 weapons. I know that about the game. I like those puffer fish.
Yeah, they're hedgehogs.
It's cute.
As far as I know, the weapons the game drops is not determined on difficulty. It's just the game is an asshole. That's why I love it. I really want another weapon, though. So, video game, if you could see fit to give me a different weapon, be pretty nice. I bet that one up there has a different weapon. There he goes. Whew. Do you think this has the arcade skip in it? It does, but
nice.
The thing hit me. Boy, I want another weapon. Can one of you mosquitoes just, like, drop a discus or something? I don't want to have to reset again. I mean, I will. It is my stream.
It is your stream.
It's looking like it might be another reset. Do you like that?
I like that.
Yeah, let's fight this guy with the freaking the freaking torch. I think it's called Firewater in this. They made this guy tougher on SuperGrafx. He can interrupt his patterns halfway through and just decide to start doing something else.
Oh, that sucks.
That might be from a later revision of the arcade. I don't know. I've never actually seen a game that acts like this.
Yeah, you're tossing Baja Blast at Krakow.
Krakow loves his Baja Blast.
He does.
I guess this is proof that I can play the game with other weapons and not just the ideal one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, though. It's very stressful. Okay, let's get that weapon. Let's become a duck.
You're the duck, you're the duck, you're the cool, cool duck. Okay, now you got your favorite weapon back. I wish the duck could use that weapon.
I wish the duck could do anything.
Me too! They should put the duck in Fortnite. Give him a gun.
Yeah, yeah. That duck has waited so many years to have a gun. Just let him have one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
hey!
we're back to the good. Why do I play video games?
Yeah, I love video games. This is pure streaming.
So the SuperGrafx version, notably worse than the other ports because it keeps giving you the fucking firewater. Even after you say that you don't want it, even after you tell the game that you're streaming, and it should be nice to you. Whoa, the discus sounds weird in this version.
I don't like the way it sounds. It sounds freaky. Don't forget, you're on very difficult. That's why this is happening.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Did we have to have the fucking Daimakai comedy hour before this, though? Did we really? That guy spawns much earlier than he should. Maybe they changed more about this than I thought. I just intended to go into this, like, to just deathless clear it because it's a perfect port, but maybe it's not. I did put it on very difficult.
Okay, you're going. You're doing.
Finally, we got some momentum going. I've been fighting against this game for the last 20 minutes.
Hate those hands, are creepy.
I don't like them either. They can kill you in one hit.
Ugh, no,
They just
thank you.
squeeze you.
Ew. Freaky little hands, get out of here.
Noticing some slowdown here. It's still very fast. It's a very good port of the arcade game, but it just barely can't keep up 100%.
Oh, this gross gutsy guy, I don't like him either.
Yeah, you like the guts worm?
Ugh.
This is an Omu, lifted directly from Nausicaa.
Oh, okay.
They even call it an Omu in the credits. They don't give a shit.
They're like, fuck this.
Yeah, we ripped this off. If you have the knife, you can go over here and stay safe. Stay safe this Halloween.
I will.
Don't fight Omu the hard way unless you have to.
Okay, done.
Is that 2 deaths already? Jesus.
Sorry, honey.
Well, as long as I can keep the good weapons, we should be okay.
Alright, how soon till Danny gets the Baja Blast? See, the problem is you've been streaming these games on your own without having a sassy little jester freaking you out while you play.
Yeah, it's way easier without that jester.
You'd think so, right? Like, probably.
The stained glass back there is not in the Mega Drive version.
Pathetic Mega Drive game.
The thing is, back then, people just had this mania about what was missing from the Mega Drive port. And the mania was so severe that it necessitated the creation of an entirely new console.
When's Daimakai fever gonna hit America again?
Probably never.
Can we make it happen? We need to do a TikTok.
Is that what's gonna do it?
Yeah.
TikTok saves the Daimakai franchise.
Okay, have you seen the TikTok ads for TikTok that are like, here's all the social good that TikTok has done. This TikToker was able to save their business due to TikTok. TikTok is so good. It's so weird. These TikTok ads are just like, here I am with Patriot Kenny talking about, no, I'm not kidding. That was one of the guys. And it was just like, here's how TikTok has improved our lives. And it's just like, oh my God, that's so sad.
Dot posted a picture of her OBS audio sources the other day, and I'm still in there listed as Reactive Danny, which I always thought sounded like a right-wing YouTuber.
It does! Oh my God! And it's got like a really shitty human Sona that really sucks, a ramp Sona.
I'm crossing my arms.
You're like shaking your head.
Can you believe what those liberals did this week?
Fucking Reactive Danny. Reactive Danny destroys!
Destroys VTubers with logic. Probably should have killed that last one. I don't know why I skipped it.
Don't kill VTubers with lot. Well,
I don't want to kill anyone. I just want to outwit people. I want to be seen as intellectually superior.
okay.
That's how Reactive Danny does things. This might be death.
That was sick. If you
Okay.
get this, you're king.
Made our way out of that. Where is it? There it is.
You did it!
Phew.
Holy shit! Go Danny! This guy's here.
I've heard it said the SuperGrafx version is more difficult than the arcade game, like even on the defaults. Just from this brief play, I can see, yeah, that kind of is the case. There's less horizontal resolution. You can't see what's on the very edges of the screen, so the game seems even faster. Even more than that, though, it just gives you the fucking firewater over and over.
It sure does.
I don't like that. So true to the series, we got to do this twice.
Okay.
Second loop is where the game really starts to hate you.
We should do a thing where all of our streams are somehow tied to Daimakai-mura or Makai-mura,
Just have it included as a background element, like a directorial touch.
Yes, 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 yes!
Like if Alfred Hitchcock was just a big Ghouls and Ghosts fan.
Okay, but that would be sick. Like, are there any gamer directors other than John Carpenter? I think most directors maybe game a little, but I don't know if there are any like gamers out there.
I think most directors are resentful and fearful of games.
Do you blame them, though?
Because it's a competitive media. The weird way the trees sway in this version is unique to this, as far as I know. They did it differently in the arcade. Here it just looks like an Amiga effect. Kind of cool, actually.
Hello, Runner. We're playing Daimakai-mura. I think it's the first time we've ever seen this one on stream. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, we like to cover a broad variety of games, so this might be the first and last time you ever see this one.
Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg did direct Ready Player One, the gamer movie. But that doesn't mean you're a gamer. You can direct a gamer movie and not be a gamer.
You don't have to be a gamer to direct a movie, but it helps. Got the low pattern this time. His head tilts differently in this version. It's like he's missing one of the animation frames for one of the interstitial animations. Just trust me.
Listen, I want the next stream to be about Daimakai-mura as well.
Maybe it can be. Maybe all future streams will be about Daimakai-mura. Wouldn't that be wonderful? If we could stop people from playing video games that aren't Daimakai-mura. Where's that turtle going?
Home.
Is he going to be up here?
Worry about it.
I'm a
Actually,
little
you should
worried.
probably worry a
I'm
little bit
very
about it.
worried. I've never seen a turtle enter the slopes here.
I love those guys.
The
They're my
Aramers,
favorite
yeah.
Yeah, they're my favorites.
They're pretty good. According to legend, the Red Arama was the very first character created for the original Ghosts and Goblins. Like, even before who they decided should be the protagonist.
That makes sense.
They just made the devil and were like, okay, we're gonna design a game around this guy.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a really good character.
I like it. That little guy, Firebrand, he's got what it takes.
Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg also had that Make My Movie game on PC.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Spielberg is the gamer director, the director for gamers.
Quick kill.
Nice.
No nice catch. That's arcade accurate. How many people noticed or cared back then about that? Was there one guy who was on the 80s news groups being like, I can't believe the Megadora Daimakai-mura gave you a nice catch on level 2. That's not possible.
That 100% has to have happened. I'm sorry. You know.
Stupid Megadora.
Someone on a BBS was going nuts.
Someone with a PC-98 and a chip on his shoulder. And a PC Engine SuperGrafx power console that he posts from. Oh, imagine if you could post from that thing. That would feel really good.
alt.rec.daimakai-mura or some shit.
I should have hit that guy. I'm not going to say that's a SuperGrafx fault, but We can all draw our own conclusions. I've done this game damageless before, you know.
Alright!
Thank you! Thank you to whoever subbed to my alt. I appreciate it.
Thank you to whoever subbed
Please
to
enjoy
Danny's
the
stream.
Please enjoy the mini Osaka emotes you now have access to.
I don't know how that works. It's so funny.
That's so funny. I'm not even streaming.
Let's never fix that. Yeah, Danny's streams now do a humble brag when they get.
So funny.
Was Steven Spielberg a fan of Bug? You know, I've seen a lot of Spielberg facts in chat, and I've been ignoring most of them, but I see someone claiming that Spielberg was a fan of Bug, and I'm just gonna believe
There was
it.
like some fucking 40-minute expose on YouTube about whether Steven Spielberg really said that shit about Bug. And of course I didn't watch it because it was 40 minutes. So I guess we'll never know.
40 minutes to say yes or no. I mean,
Oh yeah, you can't just make a straightforward YouTube video nowadays.
It wasn't real. Okay, fair enough.
He was more of a Bubsy fan. Fucking! You see? He pauses his attack animations halfway through and starts doing a different one. And yet people will say this is arcade perfect. Unfucking believable, you know? People. Short, long, short.
That was sick.
Thank you. I'll put together a proper speedrun of this one of these days. It's the kind of thing where if I actually knew the strats, I could probably get a really good time. But most of the time, I just play the game how I want to.
I'm the one who watches 40-minute video essays.
Yeah, you watch that and tell me what the conclusion is.
Okay. I mostly watch vlogs, though, because, man, it just... State Fair season just ended, and there's nothing better than seeing people roam state fairs. Danny, fairs are so good. Copyright doesn't exist, and you can just do whatever you want. I was at some...
Is that the case?
Yes! Yes, no, I've seen the most crazy copyright shit on these. Like, when's the last time you've been to a carnival or a fair, Danny?
Man, I don't even know.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Probably was in San Antonio.
I'm not even buying any tickets or any ride tickets. We're just gonna look at shit.
Okay.
But no, it's that, and man, state fairs. They have, you know, they have pig races.
Yeah.
They also have monkey dog races where monkeys ride on the backs of little capuchin monkeys ride on the backs of dogs. Yeah.
What the?
Is that legal? Not a lot of places have it, but the Georgia State Fair had it. Like the monkey rally or the banana circuit or something, yeah. And it literally is just a monkey riding on the back of a dog.
They call it the banana
circuit. Monkeys
circuit.
riding on the backs of dogs, I have a fun SeaWorld fact for you.
Yeah?
Did you know that one of the original plans for SeaWorld was to have a show, and this is like in the 1940s, 50s when they were playing, it was probably 50s. They were going to have a show with monkeys riding on the backs of dolphins. And SeaWorld was originally going to be a dinner theater where you saw monkeys riding on the backs of dolphins.
Now, why in the world didn't they go through with that?
Well, they did have some of it. They did have some monkey dolphin shows.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, but...
How many people died?
It was in the original iteration of SeaWorld with the whole restaurant and stuff that didn't happen. The history of SeaWorld is super interesting. I also think, did Marineland have the monkeys on the dolphins? I forget.
Quit putting monkeys on dolphins!
I'm with you, man! I don't think monkeys should be on the backs of other animals. They're just monkeys. What do they know?
Yeah, they're not professionals. They're not professional streamers like us. They can't play Dai Makamura. Or can they? Is my job in trouble?
Yes, I love Tilikum the whale, but that has nothing to do with this. I just think that it's really rude to make a like. I feel the same way. Like if it was another animal, if you made a dog ride on the back of a dolphin, I'd be like rude. Or you made a, God, I don't know, platypus ride on a shit. Well, I can't ride on a seahorse. Way too small. That won't work.
We've crunched the numbers. Alex, where does your brain come up with this stuff?
Listen, Tilikum the whale only killed 3 people, and one of the people he killed... No, this is important.
Really deserved it.
Well, yeah, because the guy wandered in naked into the orca pool after dark, and... True fact, Tilikum bit his dick off.
What?
I'm not joking. The whale just ripped it off. Sorry.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
How did we get to this line of conversation?
No, that's real. Read about it. Read about what happened to the guy's body who wandered into SeaWorld and thought he was going to have a nice experience with an orca, and instead the orca bit his dick off. I'm sorry. This is what happens when Danny plays Daimakai-Mura.
I'm trying to clear an imperfect port of Daimakai-Mura on the hardest difficulty, on a version that's notably harder than the arcade game, some would say. And you're talking about orcas biting dudes' dicks off.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
Because, people are just like, oh, I'm going to have a spiritual experience, and instead the whale's like, you're not going to have a good time at all. Sorry, buddy.
You're going to have an experience, all right. They stop! They literally stop halfway through their patterns! Has no one seen this? Why is no one talking about this? They have way more health, too!
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It's very difficult is what.
Wow. They literally have at least 2 more hit points than the arcade Krakos. I think the next chest here might have armor, but if it doesn't, we're screwed. So I'm just gonna skip it.
Okie dokie.
Absolutely nothing will go wrong with this plan.
Did
you see that dodge?
Yeah, I was sick.
Ooh boy. Oh man!
That was sick. Good job.
Oh baby. I did a shit ton of damage that first pass. Damn. Alright, here's the last boss. If he has his teeth out when you hit him, those shots don't count. He can block them with his teeth. That's it. That's game over.
You did it!
That was the 1 CC of very difficult on SuperGrafx Daimakai-Mura. Oh, that was not looking good for a while. The game kept throwing fire water at me for some damn reason, but justice prevailed, and the purchase of the SuperGrafx was justified.
Thank you, Kirby, for the 300 bits. 1cc, heck yeah, baby. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Danny. I'm very difficult, too.
Oh, it weren't nothing. All you gotta do is play this game over and over again for 30 years.
That makes sense.
So what can we say about the SuperGrafx? It's very capable. Super impressive capabilities at the time that brought it much closer in terms of technical specs to the Sega Mega Drive. Unfortunately, the timing of the release was right before the Super Famicom, and between that and the regular PC Engine already being kind of popular in Japan, this one kind of came and went. I do think it's interesting that they kept it going for a good couple of years, like they kept releasing games from 89 through 91, just hoping people would buy this up so they could release that ridiculous power console. Unfortunately, it was not to be. Seraphis Kane, thank you for the 100 bits.
Yes,
and Cartman, thank you for the 100 bits. But most importantly of all, we got away with streaming Ghouls and Ghosts yet again on stream.
Yet again! Danny gets their way!
Let's watch the end of this.
Okay.
Might as well. It's SuperGrafx's time to shine. As for whether this would have been worth buying back in the day, depends on just what your feelings on imperfect ports of Daimakai-Mura are. I say the Mega Drive port was excellent, despite its minor flaws. There's no reason to buy a $500 power console to play a version that's a little bit better in some ways, but just kind of equal in a whole bunch of others. I did want to emphasize that the chase for the ultimate gaming experience, the ultimate HD remaster, so to speak, it continues today, and it started back then with the SuperGrafx. I guess maybe it started with personal computers. The Amiga would be a big flex like this. It's all about flexing, though. If there's one thing gamers love to do, it's flex.
That is true. Gamers love flexing. And gaming. That's actually something some people don't know about.
Not all gamers love gaming.
That's true. A lot of gamers hate gaming, actually.
This fucking guy. They literally buffed him.
Gasuto.
They buffed the fuck out of Gasuto. Hey, Tony, they buffed the fuck out of Gasuto. I get like this whenever I, 1cc clear
Ghouls
and
G and
Ghosts.
G brain, yeah.
Yeah.
Brain.
I've never liked this boss. Too unpredictable, in my opinion.
You don't like Beelzebub?
No.
Aw. What about this guy?
He's pretty cool. He takes up the whole damn screen.
I like how big he is.
I like his fire hair. I also like Princess Prin Prin. Here's her measurements.
We don't need that, but thank you.
Well, you know. You never know.
Are we buying her dresses or something?
You never know.
That's fair enough. Oh yeah, this guy.
Mm-hmm. And if you hold up and 1 and 2, you get the secret credits, which are a little bit different here in the SuperGrafx version. Imagine working on this. Imagine working on this game right after Street Fighter. Like, wow, these guys can make good games. Thank you.
I like that. Cool.
Come back, summer vacation. I'm glad the summer's over. This
yeah,
week,
actually, it's so nice and cool lately. The weather's been really nice.
it finally cooled down here in Texas. It takes till October for that to finally happen.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it. Another version of Daimok Imura on the books. Not deathless, not damageless, but, I don't know. It's done. The deed is done.
The deed is done.
And with that, that's it. That concludes our look at the Starpath Supercharger and the NEC PC Engine SuperGrafx. Alex, if you could pick one, which one would you buy?
Weirdly enough, I would pick the Supercharger.
You know, back in the day, if there was no other alternative to play these games, I would too. It was really cool. Those games were neat and intuitive and fun to play and actually benefited from the upgrade in hardware. SuperGrafx, much more incremental. You could barely tell the difference between that and PC Engine despite the vast amount of RAM difference between the two consoles. There was some improvement, but none that really resulted in much better gameplay, unlike the case with the Supercharger. So that's what we learned today. Supercharger, better than the SuperGrafx. Officially.
Officially.
Put it on the books. We're done. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks
you.
to the Starpath Supercharger for being a PAL-friendly console. Us being the Retro Pals, we appreciate it. Special thanks to our patrons for voting the way you did this week. Came within one vote of almost seeing an Aladdin Deck Enhancer showcase instead of the Supercharger. I think y'all made the right choice. If you want to vote for our weekly streams, head to patreon.com/retropals. If you're at the $5 tier, you get to tell us what we play on our Wednesday showcases. Check it out, why don't you?
Why don't you? We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/retropals. We post full-length highlights of our streams there. Our latest one, it's look at the Vectrix, right?
Yeah, we put up the Vectrix one.
The Vectrix one is up. It's really good. I highly recommend it if you want to learn all about this this really interesting vector-based console. We also have a co-host. Let me just drop that link in the chat. cohost.org/retropals. We post when we go live there, when we've got new stuff up on YouTube, all that good stuff. Definitely check us out there. Soon enough, we will have a Blue Sky. That's my bad. I'm just being lazy about getting that set up. But we are moving from the other side. We also have a Discord. Let me just drop that link in the chat. Kaboom. You can join us there to discuss games, media, and of course, your pets. We love your pets, your frogs. I've seen frogs, I've seen cats, I've seen dogs. I saw there were some kittens earlier. So good. Oh. Amazing animals. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, keep it up, animals. And animal wranglers, you're doing a good job, too.
You get to see a lot of a cat named Mort, who is,
Mort is precious.
Mort is
He's a precious little croissant with a tiny walnut brain.
The dumbest cat alive.
Okay, so our friend Obscuratory is streaming something for PC with the title Don't. The stream title is just Don't.
Okay.
And I'm not about to back down a challenge like that. We're going to read this shit. Whatever the hell Don't is, I hope you appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
See ya, folks.